Welcome back, everybody, and once again we're here for the conclusion of Week 7. 4 more sets to bring you between EU and NA to find out exactly how these teams play.
Today we're going to be starting off with Titan, one of the top seeds coming out of Europe, going up against JusTus. I think this is an important thing to talk about because their team name is JusTus, and yet I think they're fielding a total of 9 players as of this week.
They've used 9 different players so far this split. We're replacing Sausage and bringing in members, then having substitutes as well. However, Titan, the other team against, well, they've used Bird this season, Comfrey, and now their new player Brotuz is on the scene. Right,
so they've replaced Comfrey with a new solo laner named Brotuz. Now, he was a Combine player. Zindern tried to train him up a little bit before Zindern joined the Night's Watch. Then this dude played as a sub and never actually got to play and goes from sub in Challengers to the Pro League.
Well, Titan, the number 1 team from EU, honestly, because they made it to 2nd place at the World Championships. And to get back there with Brotuz, well, they're going to have a lot to do. But talking about the World Championships, you'll see the graphic on your screen right about now, and it'll tell you all about the action that we're going to see there this January, once again, at the Cobb Energy Center.
I am encouraging everyone to show up to this. I mean, if you guys missed Worlds last year, ask anybody. It was insane. You know, the crowd's packed. The games were incredible. Like, I couldn't imagine having to watch Titan versus the COG Prime roster from home last year.
And you get a lot of free swag while you're there too. $1 million will be on the line, as well as the Xbox tournament as well. Don't forget that will be going on at the same time. And there's even a chance for the Xbox guys as well to turn up at the event and potentially play on the stage.
Yeah, which is awesome. I'm really excited about that. That's really cool.
We can just walk in like, hey, let's just play. See if we can form a team with the randos in the crowd. Alpha Draft is the next thing to talk about, and as you can see over the course of the weekend, you can gamble over there with real money. Sorry, not with real money, that's a lie. Fantasy points don't earn real money.
Yes.
My words today.
Yeah, one of the big things is that a lot of people have been saying, I'm going to go on there and I'm just going to vote Underdog and see what happens. And I think everyone who did things with Underdogs and Elevate and TSM this week turned a pretty penny.
And then when we go back now to the first game of the day, we're going to see Titan up against JusTus. Well, JusTus, they're the underdogs, but the last game they actually won, DM, was against Titan.
That's true. That's true, and given the fact that Titan has a new roster today, see, what's crazy to me is Moex is technically still a free agent. They could have put Ataraxia, kept him in the solo lane, and picked up Moex. Like, in my head, that was the call.
That's what my call was, too, in my head. But then Ataraxia, maybe you just want to go back to Hunter. The original role swap was for Comfrey, because he wasn't happy in the solo lane.
To be fair, Ataraxia is a much better hunter than he is solo.
Let's check out the standings over in Europe, though, to begin the day, and we can see exactly where Titan are right now, 9-9. JusTus, bottom of the pile, just like Elevate were earlier this week, 2-16. They need to find wins badly.
Now, you see that 19-1 going up right now for Epsilon. And when we asked them yesterday, are they still scrimming Titan? They said no. They've changed their scrim partners. Did you not hear that?
No, I did not.
They changed their scrim partners to Fnatic.
Makes sense.
So Titan not only is going to have weaker scrim partners, but a new roster. If there was going to be a week for JusTus to 2-0 Titan, it's going to be this week.
Well, let's have a look at JusTus first of all. They've got 5 members. Oh, sorry, Titan, I apologize. And you can see the newest addition there, Brotuz, will be in the solo lane. Now, you mentioned this earlier. He used to be a mid laner. He's got very good mechanics as Brotuz, but how is the transition to solo?
All I'm looking at is the fact that he looks like he belongs on this team.
He's part of the squad
He
already,
is part of Titan. Like that, he is a part of Voltron there.
Somebody made a comment about Brotuz that if he puts glasses on, he looks like Ataraxia's brother.
Yeah, they look very
just like
similar.
Zindern.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
So Brotuz coming into the solo lane, I'm very interested to see what his god pool is going to shape up to be. Is he going to be warrior heavy, mage heavy, because he was a mid laner, but he's going to be going up against the roster from JusTus.
Yeah, Xephyr is the big key here for them, and Xephyr used to be the jungler for the team, now switched to the solo laner in JusTus, and now how is he going to perform there? Because he used to play back in the day in the solo lane before transferring to jungle, but now with Sanjo on this squad, he's played Hebo so far this season, kind of worked out okay for him, but they didn't find wins. That's the issue with JusTus, they're not finding the wins.
You know, we talk about Fexez and Qiwen all the time. These guys are veterans, right? For me, I'm looking at NBK today, right? We have Ataraxia switching back to Hunter. NBK has to be a little bit worried about that. Ataraxia has some of the highest accuracy worldwide, and from what he may lack in mechanics, Ataraxia more than makes up for the ability to bait, read, and just put himself in the best possible situation.
I have to say, though, for JusTus's lineup, VoteNBK is the standout player for me so far this season. Yeah. Even when they've had bad performances, he's generally gone even, if not got ahead in a lot of situations in that duo lane. When he gets ganked, potentially 2-3 members of the enemy team come over, he does manage to escape most of the time, or at least potentially bait long enough for a rotation to come in.
NBK has been really smart, not only with his positioning, which I think will do well against Ataraxia, but with his defensive play. Given the fact that JusTus is a weaker team compared to, Epsilon and Fnatic, they are generally going to be playing from behind. Very similar to what we've seen from the AFK roster in previous years and splits, going, Season 1, then Split 1 from this season. He is doing very well from playing behind. This guy is reminding me a lot of Allied.
Okay.
With the way that he positions, the way that he can outplay, he solos other hunters. This guy is almost very similar to Vesalius right now in North America, to where his team isn't performing to be the top rank, but at the same time, he's still playing well enough to go even with the top level hunters.
And then newest addition on JusTus as well, Sanjo, who's in the jungle. He used to be the coach for Epsilon before he made the transition over to becoming a starting member for JusTus now. And he's going to be in the jungle. Little bit unsure about how this is going to work out for them. There's a lot of
who's Epsilon's coach now?
Epsilon's coach now is Youngbei. Youngbei.
That gets me a little fanboy. Youngbei is my favorite player. He always has been. I love watching the guy play. He comes up with the craziest stuff. It was Bipolar Method, which Youngbei captained way back in the day, that shut down my team. Right, that was like, that started the rift in the original.
Did that just put you to bed?
It did. What happened? It did. I mean, it was. I remember the conversation.
Good job, Youngbei.
Yeah, I remember the conversation. Jerby's like, we should have beat them, and I'm like, no, we shouldn't have. They destroyed us. That was embarrassing.
And having Youngbei as a coach for Epsilon is a good opportunity for them to just like take the knowledge from the previous seasons and then build on that.
Exactly, because Youngbei's mechanics weren't great. He was 100% mind games, and to have him be able to coach what is now the strongest team in Europe, that's crazy.
Few technical issues, guys, as you can see. We'll be back momentarily, though. We're just going to take a short break and get a few things fixed up, and we'll be back with JusTus versus Titan. And we are back. Technical issues are over, and we're straight into picks and bans of Game 1 of today. Titan versus Team JusTus. Titan 9-9, JusTus 2-16. Last time these faced DM, we went 1-1.
Starting off the ban phase, Titan with first pick, going to take Hell away. Option to Team JusTus. Still a few, why aren't we seeing Ratatoskr?
Because Thor is being played a lot more, so Cat is getting through sometimes too.
I feel like Ratatoskr is the answer to this meta that people are having trouble
with. We're also seeing Humbats picked over Ratatoskr now as well in the jungle from a lot of teams. They seem to be defaulting back to that.
Have you seen Bluestone Ratatoskr?
Not recently.
It is a nightmare to deal with. Khepri getting banned away, no surprise. Same as Sir Cat.
It's either Sun Wukong or it's Janus. They're one of the two that's going to get banned.
Let's see here. JusTus, final option. I want to see them let the Sun Wukong through, right? Brotuz is going to be the new player. They should be focusing on letting Brotuz get what he wants, and that way they can try to focus on...
And that's what JusTus is doing. Going to ban out the Sun Wukong so that we can't see Brotuz get it and have an easy, safe lane. Maybe he'll have to look to go towards like Hades or something if he wants a really safe lane to begin off his SPL career.
See, I think giving him a character that's going to clear is not going to help the Titan roster today, because when working with a new player, 100% of the problems are going to happen in the first couple minutes with rotations.
So what are you going to look for from him then for the solo lane? What would you expect them to pick? Hercules or? Like
I would say probably something like Hades, push the wave, try to get that tower. I wish Sol was in the game, he'd win the lane.
Well, she's in the game, but she's not able to be played just yet.
She's not in the game yet. She's in the PTS.
Okay, same difference. I'm pretty sure she won't come out of PTS the same way she went in. That's for sure.
I would imagine not.
Athena, though, was chosen first of all, and that's going to more than likely go to KanyeLife, but we have seen some mix-ups where we've seen Repikas play that in the jungle as well.
Janus going to be taken away here for JusTus.
That's the big key there. They chose Athena over a Janus there. Why?
Maybe they want the Athena to be able to camp the solo lane. Right, they want to make sure that Brotuz, in case he gets caught. I mean, if I was JusTus, I'd be saying, all right, listen, first 4 minutes, we're camping solo lane. Next 4 minutes, we're trying to force Gold Fury. 8 minutes to 12 minutes, we're camping that solo lane.
But giving Fexez a mid laner like Janus for potentially 3 here for the first opportunity, puts him in a good spot. And then Thor locked in as well. I'm liking the JusTus first 2 picks.
This is a really strong comp so far from JusTus. Getting that double global is insanely strong. But then you have Titan, who can answer back pretty quickly with Athena. I'm kind of wanting to see an Apollo here. They need safety. Okay, so it's going to be jungle Athena.
More than likely. Oh, it could be solo as well.
It could be.
Not sure what we're going to see.
I can't imagine we're going to see Brotuz take such an advanced god into the solo lane on his debut.
I do agree with that. But he does help with rotations as well, so he could potentially pick that one up just so we can get to the team fights easier.
You're right. I just said the rotations are going to be the problem. Giving him a global might get him around the map a little bit faster. Neith. Okay, so we're seeing globals be very, very favored this weekend.
And the big thing there, that I think we'd see the Neith and the Athena just because we saw Janus and Thor as well. Janus and Thor together, big global rotations already. Neith is there to respond respond and not give them the opportunity for giving that to the Hunter in a VoteNBK so he can also influence a fight on the other side of the map.
Well, we still don't know that Neith is going to Hunter, right? That could be for PrettyPriMe.
It could be for Prime. It could also be for Brotuz as well. Like,
That's true.
I mean, there's a lot of flex there.
Ymir going to be taken to try to counteract the aggression from Ares. Given the fact that you could stop the chains dead by freezing them is one of the more helpful things that Ymir can do.
Can also help with the wall as well. Using the wall can also block some of the chains too. It won't block the first one, but it will block the additional 2, I believe.
All right, so going back into the ban phase, JusTus has option here, probably going to attack a mage. I think, yeah, okay, it's going to be Isis. I was thinking something like...
seen a lot of new War out of PrettyPriMe this year as well.
New War would have been probably a safer bet, considering that global presence is already so heavy. Like, adding fire shards to that mix will be good.
I wouldn't mind seeing PrettyPriMe go back to his Vulcan as well. Vulcan could be a big potential opportunity, because with that ultimate big long range, semi-global to an extent, and then on top of that, you could also secure Gold Fury Fire Giants.
Freya getting taken away. Now, JusTus could actually counterpick Nuwa here and put her in the solo lane, giving major presence to that Gold Fury fight. Probably one of the stronger picks. Warrior-wise, Guan Yu still available, which has been pretty... I would say prevalent throughout this
He had a big rise after the patch change, and people realized how strong the healing was in him, the sustain, but then all of a sudden, he started to drop again in terms of how much he's been picked.
Oh, Anhur. Now, this is a little bit of a curious pick, considering they also have a Thor in the team. Now, Janus, of course, does have a lot of late-game potential, but if they build magical defense and just rush down the backline, they're not going to have an endgame here on JusTus, at least not so far. They're going to have to be very careful with their final pick, especially considering they're going to have to counter something.
But at the moment, if it's going to be Athena, so it's going to be Ares and Neith up against the Ymir and an Anhur, that's a kill lane for JusTus there. They're looking to try and get kills in that duo.
That's true.
If they can find it, it'll be good, but it is against, you know, Kanye and Ataraxia. Have they got the synergy that they once had? And a Scylla locked in for Titan. Not seen a Scylla in a while.
You know, one of the things, you'll notice this from Titan, is if they don't pick Scylla in the first 3, she's almost, I think she's almost 100% pick 4th.
Last split, they always had this opportunity, this thing where if they didn't pick their mid laner, they always went to Scylla in the second phase.
Right.
And I don't know how many times they've done it this season with picking a mid later.
I think it was Adonis that found that call, right?
It was me and Adonis.
It was you. It was you and Adonis. Okay.
Yeah, we sat there and went through it before last split.
And
not giving full credit away.
It's so crazy to see it constantly happen, and no one seemed to notice the pattern. She just always is getting picked up. Now that is a good pick. The Chronos, not normally seen as a super strong pick, but when you don't have a hyper carry on the team, if Chronos can get through the early game and they reach the 20-minute mark, even with Titan, Titan has the comp, man. I mean, I'm sorry, JusTus has the comp.
But the question is it Fenrir in the solo lane, or is it Athena?
I would assume it's going to be Fenrir, especially against the Chronos.
Against the Chronos. Well, he didn't know he was going to be Chronos before he locked that in.
Well, I mean, they could make the swap now.
Make the swap
okay,
now.
Well, now we're going to give him, right?
And put Repikas in the jungle on that Athena. So a lot of CC on the side of Titan, and it's all kind of set up for that Scylla.
We're going to see 80 Scylla?
It's all set up for Scylla, right?
80 Scylla, like Allied does.
Do you reckon we could do that? We could see it.
No, it's not going to happen. Just go mid.
Let's go in and see exactly how this one's going to play out. Titan versus Team JusTus, and Titan's down on the bottom side of the map.
All right, so remember, Ataraxia returning to the Hunter lane, or the duo lane rather, playing Hunter. This will be his first game back, I'm pretty sure, in that lane.
Yeah, so he's going to have to get the synergy back with KanyeLife. They probably already practiced it in scrims ahead of time.
Be very hard, yeah.
It would have looked at that. They did have Bird in for a little while, and then they've brought in Brotuz finally into that solo lane, and it's going to be Fenrir in the solo lane, starting Power Pot here, so looking for aggression.
Power Pot Bluestone. Chronos has 2 choices, adapt or die. Right, well, that's it.
He started off looking for either the breastplate or the Mail of Renewal here to start things off.
Zayden, can we actually hover on the breastplate? It's 20 defense, right? I mean, I don't think it's anything else. Yeah, it's just 20 flat defense. And that's not going to do a lot against Red Pot Bluestone Fenrir.
And it's going to be Repikas in the jungle. Well, the funny thing about going that as well is it's only going to be to deal with the lane. Normally you will see people go for the breastplate start if they're against a physical jungler and a physical solo laner. This time, though, going to go for the very safe option and picking it up nice and early. Great
timings from the mid laners on both sides, but due to the map, I guess, asymmetrical nature, you're going to see Fexez get to lane a little bit sooner. And given the fact that Scylla has some of the worst clear in the game for the mid lane in the early levels, it's going to be hard for her to keep up with Janus. Immediately, you see him try to push this out. He's relying on his creeps to finish it up. He's going to go right to the mid camps.
And what we're going to have to see out of Repikas here on this Athena, he's going to have to do the big rotations over to the left-hand side, who's actually still in the solo lane.
What happened here? They took a long time. Xephyr's going to be in trouble here. Does he have the stop time? That is a...
No, big stun from Xephyr. He should live. He's not going to be able to find the kill. And now that means that the left-hand Harpy's also going to go to JusTus.
A rough start for the new solo laner. There was no reason for him to get hit by that stop time of Repikas. They were on two separate sides of the character, but he moved forward by using the Brutalize too early, and he gave that kill away. Xephyr maybe counting his lucky stars there that Brotuz got super aggressive where he didn't need to be, and because of that lack of a kill, that's a big win for JusTus as they get both mids.
But that was Titan's game plan, right? Get their solo laner ahead, their newest addition to the roster, give him the advantage he needs in this lane against Chronos, and put him in a good spot, but they don't find the kill. Xephyr surviving now puts him in a bit of a disadvantage early on.
Yeah. This could be trouble. If this story continues to develop in this way, these little mistakes are going to haunt Brotuz. Remember, Fenrir, early game destruction.
DM, look at what we're seeing out of JusTus in the duo lane, though. They're doing what we see out Epsilon do a lot and trying to zone them off experience as much as possible, put pressure on this duo lane. And we said this is a kill lane they're running anyway, so that's why Titan are respecting them.
I mean, they have to, right? I mean, if Ares finds a really big chain and avoids the freeze, it's possible that there's kill potential. But unless both of those things happen, and it's very unlikely that they will, there's just no chance for Ares to get started. This is probably one of Ares' hardest lanes. I would say only Khepri would make this more difficult.
Bro's going to take a little bit of poke pressure there, but he's going to turn it back around with the Brutalize, knowing that the stun's down. So in the end, Xephyr comes out on the losing end of that trade.
See, and I agree with that given the fact that this is health, right? But unless Fenrir finds a kill here, that red pot is wasted. This is a 450 gold differential between the two players, and unless Brotuz gets something with this, maybe not first blood, but a second or a third or at least 2 assists to get his jungler started, this is going to be a big negative.
He's still farming away, going to get a nice big gank up, but level 5 has been reached by Xephyr. Has the rewind, but didn't panic and held on to it as well. So Brotuz getting poked down too, both even on health. But Brotuz did have 2 health potions and popped them both there.
I think a big part of that was how much minion damage he took. I expected that Brutalize to happen immediately. It should have been jump in, auto attack cancel to Brutalize, would have hit twice and gotten the kill. He didn't do the auto attack cancel. He waited too long for the stop time to try to bait it out, which usually would have been the right call, but given the minion damage and how much he could have done with the Bluestone Red Pot, because remember, he didn't get a second Bluestone activation there, he dropped the kill and forces himself into a bad spot once again.
Well, Qiwen going to rotate towards the mid lane. His blink is available again soon. He did use it over in the duo lane. It's just come up now, and that's what JusTus might be looking for, especially knowing that they got both timers on these mid harpies on the right, especially will be coming up soon.
Qiwen maybe a little bit early, though. You'll notice that the right side camps still have a little bit. They should be spawning in about 6 or 7 seconds here. Won't be too much longer. Actually, it might be a little bit longer than that. This
is like zoning day from JusTus here. Look at the positioning. They did this in the duo lane with Qiwen, and now in the mid lane, they're trying to deny experience again where possible.
And look at that. Let's take a look at Chronos here. What is he going for? Warding. Okay, very smart. He's going for
the breastplate of Valor here as well, just to make sure he doesn't die in this lane.
See, normally I am 100% for Mail of Renewal. This is one of the characters in the game that I think functions better with breastplate. Given the fact that he wants to go into stacking items, it's going to be hard for him to get to a point where Mail of Renewal is going to be helpful. And considering the fact that he's going to rewind if he gets a kill anyway,
look at this pressure
it's
on right,
very unlikely he's going to get the Mail of Renewal procs to be prevalent either way.
They get the right on Harpies JusTus here and realize the timing on this blue buff. Going to deny this one away from Brotuz, the new solo laner for Titan, and just constantly soak experience and use these rotations wisely.
Pick on him. Hell yeah, pick on him, right?
Keep him pinned
Get
out.
the new guy and push him out. This is exactly what JusTus should have been doing. You know, a lot of times the casters will criticize players for not doing their homework, whereas it seems JusTus knows exactly what to do here. Their playbook is full of how to just shut down Brotuz today.
No, it's Brotuz there. Just go into speed buff to see if that was taken too.
Smart.
JusTus missed an opportunity there, I think, to take the speed as well. And
well,
they didn't. Well, I guess they were worried about the re-engage, but they had 4 members over that side of the map as well. They could have potentially looked at that one. Chose not to, though, for the safe feature and just take that blue alone.
It was really smart of Brotuz to go in to check the speed buff, even if he didn't want to get the experience from it. Because if that's gone, you don't want your jungler, who's so heavy on rotations and who is so time constrained, to rotate to a place where he's not going to get experience. So for him to check that and let his team know what's going on, I don't know if he shot called that or somebody else did, but that was 100% the right call.
Yeah, the red buff's still available as well, so Titan will be soaking that one up. After this wave in mid lane, more than likely, Primal will be rotating in there as well, as KanyeLife. Kanye very quiet on this area so far.
Topside speed buff not getting taken, strangely enough. You'll notice that Sanjo walks right past it to get back into the mid lane, perhaps waiting to split, or they're looking for something else. But it looks like he and Fexez will retreat back to that side and pick that up.
Still no gank coming out from Sanjo just yet. Just the invasion on that blue buff for the time being. Him and Fexez, like you said, going to head over there and share the speed buff now.
I want to see Athena back right after this wave in mid lane. She needs to get back there as soon as possible. So you're actually seeing Repikas on the bottom side take the left camps. This is maybe a small misstep for min-max, considering the fact that he still needs to back and get his boots. If he doesn't go back soon, you'll see how much longer it's taking him to rotate around the map, and he's not getting that extra burst from the speed buff to get out of the base. It's possible at this point that he's just waiting to go back for the first time until he thinks he's going to need to use his ultimate to try to get out of the lane as fast as possible.
Well, so far so good for JusTus, finding themselves a small little advantage. KanyeLife going to head back to base for the second time after already finishing Talaria boots off here, as we tune him with Brotuz, trading off with Xephyr once more.
I really like the way that he played that too. You'll notice that Xephyr started backing up after he landed the stun. That way, if Brotuz did use the Brutalize afterwards, it would have been kind of wasted because he would either cancel it or he would be brought into the tower. You'll also note that he's not leveling it, he's going into Seething Howl.
Sanjo looking for an opportunity to come around to the solo lane now. He's in the Fire Giant pit there.
Gotta wait for the jump.
Look for the opportunity, and I think that's what Zephyr's trying to bait here, is bait him towards Sanjo.
He should be moving up a little bit more. Zephyr's not going to bait by standing strong. He's giving Fenrir experience where Fenrir doesn't deserve it.
There's a ward there, and Sanjo just gave away the game plan, unfortunately. Titan well aware of that angle.
There needed to be either more aggression or more defense. By standing where he stood, Fenrir was still getting experience. He wasn't forcing Fenrir's hand. He was just able to sit in the backline and soak up what he needed to. He might have missed a few last hits, but that's not going to be as important as forcing him away from the wave, forcing him to fight you.
Still not seen an ultimate of anybody on either side so far this game.
Have we not really seen a single ultimate?
Nope, not so far. Everybody's played this pretty passively. And to be fair, Titan's composition here is all about let's get Prime to late game and set him up, really.
That's been always their plan, right, with Scylla? Blink in, frozen. This is probably going to be first blood here. Qiwen is overcommit.
Sanjo is up in the air, though, in response, and Prime's in a lot of trouble there. Oh, the dunk was late. The pull through the wall was an opportunity for Fexez to go through. His VoteNBK's rotation does secure KanyeLife as well.
The Titan rotations are big here. You'll see Ataraxia trying to rotate down in case the fight continued. Repikas rotated over as well with the ultimate. But I'm sorry, without the ultimate, he was actually the one that got first blood. But still, they used a lot there. They get first blood on the side of Titan, which I think is important, but at the same time, they lost a large portion of the jungle. You'll see the purple buff got dropped. They lost the mid camps. That seems to me like a win for JusTus.
It was a win for JusTus, but I like what Titan did there. They instantly responded to Qiwen going aggressive. Do you see how fast that Will Weaver came out from Ataraxia? It was almost instant in response.
They were ready for it. Like, they knew that he was rotating in. It was very strange to see Qiwen blink into that situation because that was a guaranteed kill for Titan. I just feel like Titan may have overstayed their welcome.
But VoteNBK was the one that got the kill as well, so putting Anhur ahead will help them out a little bit. Neither of these hunters really class as hyper carries either, DM.
That's true. Both Neith and Anhur are more mid-game oriented, but they do have an end-game hunter-esque player, right, with Xephyr being on Chronos.
Very true. And then across the way, you've got Scylla on the other side. Obviously not. He's a hyper carry, but he's not necessarily the type that you're normally looking for.
What it comes down to is, does PrettyPriMe find the reset? If he gets the reset off of I'm a Monster, the team fight usually will go in that favor. Let's take a look at Xephyr here. Has his ultimate. He'll be able to go back almost to full health. He is low on mana, but it's been, I think, a little while since he's backed.
Well, Brotuz should be an opportunity here to try and put pressure on this lane and put some. You basically try and push the wave into tower, but Xephyr aware of it. With the blue buff still ticking away, he should be okay.
Look at Sanjo. Still has his ultimate.
He's got it back up again. He used it last time. He's back up already. Brotuz could be in a bit of trouble, but he's still got Unchained available right now.
Oh.
Gonna miss it is Sanjo. That's the second one he's not been able to connect with so far. Wall doesn't land either, and Brotuz jumps around quite happily.
So I think it's important to note that if you are watching Fenrir, he was doing his best to try to do as much damage as he could to the creeps from max range, right? He was never going directly into that 1 or 2 foot range to like touch the creeps. He was looking for those 12-foot auto attacks. PrettyPriMe gets the reset, not going to need it, but another kill into the mid lane. Fexez going down.
Well, he used through space and time there, but KanyeLife managed to keep hold of him. I'm not sure exactly what happened. The ultimate was consumed by KanyeLife there as well with the no escape, so they must have pulled him back into that one. And then obviously Scylla managing to get the Iron Monster off to confirm the kill.
Repikas going into the jungle here. The speed buff has already been taken. He's probably not going to find a catch here. Repi should take those back camps, though.
But they lose a whole wave of experience in the mid lane to that tower. Second wave now coming in, and Kanye's going to catch Qiwen, who was on the way around.
He's got all the chains.
That's what can happen.
2 more seconds.
Oh.
Wait, backing off?
Second landed, but I guess they were worried about potential rotation from VoteNBK coming across with that Anhur as well.
Kanye and PrettyPriMe both had used their ultimates at this point as well. True. So it's not like they had a massive amount of kill potential, and going onto the enemy side of the map is a little bit dangerous.
Blink in, and Sentinel used. Don't find Qiwen. Good response with the blink.
That quick 180 blink to get out of there, I'm surprised that Qiwen had the reaction time to do that. That was a very quick blink.
Did get himself out of trouble, and the pressure once again still from Titan on this mid lane. We've seen him a couple of times this season try to group up in mid around 10-12 minutes and push down a tier 1 tower. But now with the newest members, they've not got the opportunity to do that. May look for Fexez again here, though.
Repi is hiding. They definitely do not see him at this point.
What's he ulting?
Oh, he's going the other way.
They're looking for the pick on Xephyr again, but rewind is available. And immediately rewind all the way back. Ult consumed, but maybe they can taunt follow up. Good stun.
But no taunt. He's going to taunt him anyway. The Brutalize going up, but that is not a leveled Brutalize. He uses it as a, I guess, closing method as he tries to jump forward. But Xephyr winds up taking the better of that one. 2 ultimates wasted right there as they do nothing to deter the solo laner from JusTus.
Not finding anything. Sanjo's now going to rotate over here to support as well because he just come into the lane as well. Xephyr doing a good job of surviving after multiple gank attempts since the very start of the game from Titan.
You know, I'm having trouble with Sanjo in this game, right? You know, even going back to the last time we talked about Fenrir, you know, trying to do max range, and the Sanjo ultimate landed inside his own creeps, not the other way. That
wall may put Ataraxia in a lot of trouble. Unfortunately, the ult didn't hit, but oh, downstable Vortex.
Fexez, really good shot. Not sure why VoteNBK used that impale so soon. There was no way it was going to kill. Oh, frozen.
Good freeze, but beads used by 2 members of the team there. Kanye still looking for VoteNBK, but now the Hammer Monster connection with 2. Not going to find the kill, but no escape coming in. Sanjo with a very good ultimate to defend, and now it's an opportunity for JusTus.
He's a slow, does really well there, but again, Fexez is finding a big kill. Sanjo in trouble, gonna fall to the shield wall. Titan still up by 1 kill here. Gold still pretty much even.
Jungler and support for mid laner and AD carry. So in my eyes, JusTus came out on top once again, picking up more kills.
Such an interesting dynamic here, given the fact that Fenrir could kill Chronos with 2 spells, but he only has enough mana for 1. NBK actually going to pause here.
Quick pause, just make sure there's no issues going on. But Titan, they're up in kills right now, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an easy game for them, this one.
So as we go into the pause, let's talk a little bit more about Sanjo. He has had kind of a rough game so far. Yeah, 4 ultimates, right? 3 of them have missed so far. Hits 1 onto Scylla, who eventually does get taken down with the help of Janus. But generally considered out of position a lot, hasn't really committed to a lot of fights. You'll notice his score is 0-1-2 at this point in a situation where it should probably be 1-1-2 or 0-1-3. I
mean, to be fair, that last ultimate was his best ultimate so far, so if he continues on that path, he should be fine, because that was a big rotation to that dual lane that saved a teammate that honestly was in a lot of trouble. VoteNBK probably would have fallen there if it wasn't for the fact he turned up.
I think the player I'm looking at most in this game has been Xephyr. There have been multiple attempts to take him down, 4 or 5 ultimates used so far in that lane, and most of them have been, I guess, really ineffective, given the fact that his rewinds have been flawless.
And the funny thing is that was a counter pick as well, so he got the last pick and used it wisely to get himself an opportunity. Might be a play coming out somewhere from Titan. He saw the World Weaver being channeled around the corner, so they wanted to hide it here.
Yeah, he's hiding it. I'm not sure why he's not using it as like that pressure like we saw Emilito do so many weeks ago.
Well, right half is all going to go to Titan, but they're going to get engaged on big freeze coming out from Qiwen, and the beats are already used early. Prime, he's already dead. Can't even Sentinel. Now Kanye surrounded. Will Weaver coming in defensively, but he's not going to protect him. No escape. He's going to pull a couple of members in. Brotuz is here, but he doesn't know where to go. Repikas turns up with the ultimate to get himself back to the fight, but already Kanye falls.
Sanjo in a bad spot here. Might be able to get out. Oh, I love the rotation coming out from NBK. Ataraxia is going to come in a little bit late as well, but it seems at this point that Repi has nowhere to go.
Deletion. All members of JusTus still alive. 3 members of Titan fall, and you can see Brotuz and Ataraxia, no ultimates available, so this should be a free goal Fury.
You got to look at Brotuz. This is going to be his chance to shine here. They can make the rotation. There are no ultimates left for them to be deterred by. A good Unchained would have been it, but he's not going to take it. JusTus is going to take a huge lead, 3-0 plus gold.
And the big play for me, VoteNBK's rotation, you called it, but that pillar, the pillar that pinned off the Ragnarok from chasing him all the way into the tower, bringing the guy all the way to the tower, really made an impact there. Look at that, 2,000 gold lead at 14 minutes in, 3,500 experience. JusTus are in position here.
Remember, Titan was up a kill before that engagement started. JusTus with a small advantage even though, but they're in a great spot now.
Oh, they tried to make a big play on Fexez, and he gets away from Chains and the Sycam as well. So fortunate for Titan. Blink now on cooldown for PrettyPriMe as well.
That was aggressive.
It was.
That was very aggressive. A blink on Scylla, looking just for the Sycam before the Ares jumps in. That is a little crazy. I think I should have expected that the chains would have come out first. We should have saw the blink from Ares first, and then the blink from Scylla, considering the fact that Sycam is a slower moving projectile.
Well, speed buff goes down, giving it over to Repikas again. And that pick, honestly, for me, was JusTus playing very, very well. What they did was they realized the beads were down for both Ares and Scylla from the last engagement still, and so they capitalized, picked them both in a bad spot, and Titan tried to respond. It just didn't work out for them.
But this is, for me, where JusTus is going to falter. If there's going to be a throw opportunity for JusTus, this is it. There's nothing in the jungle. All they can really do at this point is leech camps and try to team fight. And what they should be doing is protecting the lead. By forcing themselves onto the enemy side of the map the way that they kind of are right now, they're putting themselves in a position of weakness, but for some reason, Titan not answering. First tower gonna go down.
That tower was already weak though, DM, especially when you with a Scylla that's not got the great wave clear early on. The pressure put out by JusTus was good. There's still 5-man invade on the right. Well, not gonna get found by Qiwen there, so everyone just retreats.
See, this is what I'm talking about though. There's a tower right now on the left side.
They're just grouping for towers here.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just grouping up, trying to push objectives. They have to keep going and get this done as quickly as possible, because if they keep giving waves up.
Completely dead, annihilated, walks in, doesn't have any opportunity to escape that. No beads available for him, so he falls down.
Wow, and look at this Ataraxia. They forced Ataraxia's rotation. I was definitely wrong on this one. They managed to pressure the whole team over here.
Sanjo's up. Zephyr's in a lot of trouble, though. May have to rewind very soon, or he's going to die to Kanye. Will die to Kanye anyway. I'm a monster comes out, but doesn't find a killer. Sanjo brings down KanyeLife as well. After his no escape, Repi jumps in again, finds the taunt onto Qiwen, who's going to get bursted again, but it's not enough to kill him. One hit will be enough. Ataraxia finds it.
Where was the rewind?
He delayed the rewind a little bit too long. I don't think he thought the pull was going to kill him, but the pull did kill him because he didn't rewind quick enough. That was the issue. Trying to hold it for the obviously the immunity effect.
There was no reason not to use it as soon as he started running away from that fight. I think maybe it might have been on cooldown and I didn't see it, but from what I saw, it looked like it was up.
I thought it was up too. I think it was just. I personally felt he was just holding that more than anything to make sure he got the.
Well, he's definitely holding that now.
Well, he's holding that L, that's for sure. Blue buff is available. Repi going very strong into VoteNBK. He was aware of it though with an impale. He may find the kill in response though, but no, he falls down. The burst from PrettyPriMe too much.
That was a really free disperse right there again. That's the second time we've seen a player not utilize one of their abilities and fall for it.
And now they're going to get the tier 1 tower in response Titan now. So they climb back in after an engagement. Let's be fair, JusTus did very well with that one. But Titan do respond.
Thor sitting at about 1,600 gold in hand. He's looking like, I mean, we see a cloak, right? I mean, Hide of the Urchin? Spirit Robe?
Looks like Hide of the Urchin.
It could be Spirit Robe. I mean, I'm 100% always on board with the Mail of Renewal, and if you get Spirit Robe, you can't get Mail. I mean, unless you're, I think Dare to Care did it yesterday.
Confused when you said Hide of the Urchin, I was looking over at Brotuz, who's actually gone that as his third item. The second item.
This is strange. I mean, usually you don't see a team that's behind going into Hide of the Urchin because it relies on kills.
But this was the whole Titans plan. You said, we said this earlier, like Prime is on this Scylla. They've not really gone too aggressive too early. They're waiting for Prime to come online. Prime collecting some of the kills for the team, well, most of them so far. And they'll be looking to make this PrettyPriMe just so big. And the CC setup on the front line is where it's important for them.
All right, we're 18 minutes in. Only one Gold Fury has fallen so far. Should be respawning soon. Titan starting to regain control of the game. Still down about 2,000, but they're going to shrink that down to about 1,500.
Zephyr's in a bit of trouble there. Has to beads away. Continuing to go aggressive. Has to rewind eventually as the no escape comes in, but he's going to get pulled back in as well. Unfortunately, going to get it out, but now Fexez does find KanyeLife, and still Repikas now in trouble as well.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting out of that one. A nice crush from PrettyPriMe, but the damage just isn't enough. Through space and time, going to hit Brotuz. Freeze going to miss as Brotuz able to jump over the wall.
Chase him down, though, and still in the mid lane, though. They're looking for Ataraxia. The wall came out. The portal was avoided thanks to the beads. I'm a Monster does not connect from PrettyPriMe, though.
They're trying to rush forward. Gold Fury about to respawn, it seems, about 20 seconds. They need to control this for a little while longer, given the fact that Repikas will be spawning pretty soon, and the fact that Kanye is up in just 5 seconds. They don't have, like, poetic license to just sit in this jungle the entire time. They're going to have to fight.
They do find purple buff, though, on the left-hand side. Choose not to go for it instead. Looking to re-engage again. Wall, blink, freeze from Qiwen, who's on very low health there. Does manage to get away from the Unchained, though, and not get hit.
Channeling that ult. Ataraxia trying to show a little bit of strength, but at this health, it's going to be hard for him to move forward without dying. Qiwen's blink down can be very helpful here. It's the only blink on the team. There goes the ultimate. Zephyr's gone.
He is gone, but Sanjo on the backside does land onto Prime, who's in trouble, but Sentinel's away, and the chains applied by Kanye. Oh, great double tap from Sanjo, followed by an Aegis to buy himself a second, and now VoteNBK diving in deep with a good impale on Ataraxia, but he's going to retreat back to his teammates.
Brotuz choosing, I think, the wrong target there. Is VoteNBK able to walk away from that one for free. Sanjo throwing down a wall just to force some abilities and will get out. Gold Fury will stay for now. I think that was pretty much a wash in the end.
But in the end, Titan really did well there. They could have lost a Gold Fury. Instead, they pick up the kill on Xephyr, trade out Prime for it, but the Gold Fury stands, which at this stage of the game is worth a little bit more than it was earlier on.
So as we talked about before, Chronos stacking items, very important. You'll see he is now going into that Book of Thoth, already done, and he's picked up a cloak here. Now,
Magi's?
I'm kind of leaning towards Magi's. I mean, it could be a Spirit Robe, right? But I mean, this is their carry at this point, right? Because they have an Anhur. He needs to be going into damage.
Well, he's got a defensive item in breastplate already, but now going for a second option here as well. So very worried about potentially getting picked off or focus in the team fights. And he was last time as well. We saw him, you know, try and position himself, but Ataraxia hit him with a World Weaver, and they followed up nicely. But then good response from JusTus once again. Sanjo's actually starting to step up though, DM. We were saying earlier on he was struggling, but now 3-1-7.
He's crushing now, man.
Really is.
That double tap, you know, because he couldn't teleport given the fact that he was chained, so he couldn't rely on Berserkers. That double cap to kill Prime was
Blink,
delightful.
taunt onto VoteNBK, but Qiwen's there to freeze Repikas in the back. Good impale onto Kanye as well to stop him getting involved. Sanjo now in the air once again. Who's his focus on? It's on KanyeLife, who's in a lot of trouble. Going to get hit by the Glacial Strike as well. And now Kanye has to come in to support. Repi's still alive, and it's Kanye who falls first, trying to support his teammate.
The post-empty strike gets him out of there just barely. Now, I think the thing to note here is that we still do have an I'm a Monster on the side of Titan. It's possible they can still deter the Gold Fury, steal it, or even go for a bunch of kills. They still have a chance to turn this, but with Brotuz taking so much damage in that last engagement, it's going to be very hard for them to reinitiate.
JusTus trying to siege up the tier 2 tower in mid lane as well. Wall from Sanjo, double tap hits Ataraxia, followed by a portal as well. Freeze followed up by Qiwen on the backside. Still Ataraxia staying around, has to backflip out. Meanwhile, Repikas doing what he can. I'm a Monster has been popped as Brotuz falls down. They don't find a kill. It's JusTus that do.
I feel like Titan isn't doing their normal, we're the best team in terms of chemistry strategy, right? We actually heard Ataraxia channeling that World Weaver while we saw the I'm a Monster get ready. Why wasn't it the same target they were looking for? Why was the I'm a Monster used so much earlier? It feels like the comms have gone dark and the normal completely cohere.
Good wall. Big wall from Qiwen. Prime's trying to come in very late with the blink as well to steal away, but JusTus get the Gold Fury. VoteNBK still lives. A wall from Sanjo will deter. They're looking for a pick on Fexez, who gets through the portal as Qiwen freezes. They're still chasing though.
Full. Good route. They probably need to give up Qiwen here. Vex is able to get out. Yeah, they should just walk away from that one. They got the Gold Fury plus the Fenrir for just the Ymir. I think that's worth.
Let's have a little look at the graphs and see exactly how this game's developing now. 5,500 experience for JusTus, just under 5,000 gold as well. Titan trying to answer back after that though by pushing into the tier 2 tower in mid, but I don't think they can find anything up against a Chronos and an Anhur.
You know, Titan needs wins here, right? This is not the Titan from previous splits that is riding the top of the roster. They're, I think, what is it, 8-8 right now? 9-9?
9-9 right now.
9
and to be fair, this is no discredit to JusTus, but they are the whipping boys of EU right now. They're the bottom of the pack. They're not doing well. This is like Elevate over in NA, but
Titan
now
cannot afford to drop games to JusTus if they want to continue pushing for that land contention. They need to make this new roster work, which is why it's so crazy that teams are doing roster switches in week 7.
Well,
right?
You want to make it to Worlds. I mean, you've got the LAN as well. If you can hit top 6, you're preparing for LAN, ready for Worlds. LAN's the big one.
That's true.
And for me, JusTus, though, we're not discrediting them at all. They're having a fantastic performance so far. They did
Xephyr
take a win.
has been insane.
Zephyr's been played well.
He made he made 2 mistakes so far, right? He held his ult for too long in the solo lane pushing for the tier 2, and then he was a little bit out of position at the mid camps, and he got caught when his team was going for Gold Fury. Aside from those 2 things, every single engagement that he has been in, and there's been a lot, he has dominated.
And that was Titan's game plan, is to gank the solo lane early, but they've not found the kills there, and it's set JusTus up into a decent position now.
So, going back to Xephyr, though, Spirit Robe is finished. So a little bit of cooldown reduction, right? It's going to bring him up to max CDR, right? A little bit of defense as well, plus the extra mitigation. The mitigation doesn't always super help Chronos, given the fact that he can rewind. So it's confusing to see this item here. I wonder what his strategy is. It seems like he's kind of building to be a frontliner.
This strategy right now is Titan push the tier 2 in right, but there's 2 members of JusTus on the left taking a tier 2 already. 3 members are here to defend. Sanjo's going to take to the sky, but the tier 2 should fall here. I don't think Sanjo will go in here. His team is very defensive, but look what VoteNBK is doing.
He should
still
go in. He should have jumped in and fought Ataraxia immediately. Ataraxia gets a free back now. That was a guaranteed Phoenix that he just gave away.
Well, VoteNBK's chipped it down to half health, but as the engagement goes on over here, the Frost Breath does come out. Fex is in a good position. They will find Brotuz, who's having to use Ragnarok to go away. Through space and time connects. That might fire all the way over the map. Will it actually hit? No, that's a shame.
The rest of Titan needs the back right now.
Well, there's the actual ult coming in from Repikas now to support VoteNBK. VoteNBK's in a lot of trouble though. Qiwen's already over here using that through space and time to his advantage. The Fexez has fired off for the kill. Big Freeze is going to save the day for him. Ataraxia could fall down, but no, he'll backflip away thanks to Prime and that damage.
That crush was so clutch. Right there. I mean, I can't even believe that PrettyPriMe was able to get there as fast as he did. Did he burn the blink? Yeah, he burned the blink.
He burned the blink, and now they've still got another minion wave coming in. Zephyr's now here. Kanye blinks in. No escape hits too. Early beads from Xephyr and Fexez following that one up. And one thing to note here as well, DM, we've not mentioned Fexez, but he's currently 6-1 and 8 at level 20.
Fexez have been bodying this game. He's been hitting so many abilities, just like the Ymir monster. Not going to get the reset, but he hits 2 for a huge amount of damage. Sanjo forced to the sky to try to get out of there. Luckily, and I mean luckily, for JusTus, that Gold Fury is not up, because that would have been a lost engagement right there.
Get out call comes out. Let's have a look at the 2 supports of the game so far as well. We see KanyeLife over playing that Ares and Qiwen on the other side on that Ymir. He's had a good game on the Ymir so far. You see the GPM between the two, and the KDA difference is definitely one to recognize.
I think the biggest thing here is 214 versus 8 and 9, right? A lot of the other numbers are going to be straight up skewed by the fact that Qiwen has only found 2 victories this season.
And that's very true. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be between the two. But Qiwen is technically the shot caller of this team, I believe, still. He's one of the original members from last split. Most of the other members have changed on this squad consistently over the past 2 splits, but Qiwen in the mid lane trying to get a freeze. Taunt does connect onto VoteNBK, doesn't panic though, has to down because of the chains coming out from Ares. Brotuz is looking for Anhur at the back, but the bead is going to stop him and pin him into a corner. Sanjo, after picking up 1 kill, going to go straight up looking for a dunk.
He should get something. No, just barely outside. Walks into the crush. Doesn't find the stun that he needs. Although he does block off Repi. Repi waits it out, but gets walled again. He's just trying to dodge it. It's a mini game at this point. 3 structures made. The 3rd one finally shutting him down. Repi will fall.
Funny thing is, JusTus taking a page out of Titan's book. If you remember this composition of Ymir, Thor, and Anhur, we've seen Titan run this in the past and use those walls nicely with the pillars, and it's worked out for JusTus this time. They're looking for the fighter giant now. Titan have to defend. I'm a monster is available.
Oh, Qiwen's trying to go all in and sack for this. Sanjo going in as well, but he's going to get stopped. The fire giant's low. Yeah, they're going to get it.
Well, they do get it. No escape misses as Sanjo jumps away. Kanye not going to find it. I'm a monster. Already propped in preparation by Prime there. They don't find the kill. And not going to find anything.
Even with that, they're not going to get it. It was a really good attempt, but the fact that Kanye stepped over that threshold was just too much for them to deal with. You know, one of the hardest slows in the game stops Kanye's rush, and 12-16 right now with JusTus having a 5K gold lead. They just picked up 4 members with Fire Giant, only Qiwen lacking it, and I don't think anyone's worried about it.
I think Qiwen's decision there was the correct
one. It was an amazing call.
It was a little bit early for me, but it was the right opportunity because they grouped up nicely for him in the jungle.
See, normally I think you're right. It would have been the wrong call to go in that early, but given the fact that they were killing his ward and they were focused on that idea, I don't think they expected him to blink in, and he caught them off guard.
Well, Titan did try and attempt the Gold Fury there, but JusTus were back in time to contest it through space and time, even fired off there as well to find out if they were still going to continue it nice and early. So the whole team is going to get that Gold Fury.
And smart of Titan not to contest there. They probably shouldn't have fought, given the fact that they didn't have their full squad. But it's only going to get worse, right? I mean, the gold just starting to skyrocket. And there's still, what, 2 tier 2s left?
Yep. No, just one.
Just
tier
the
two.
one. Okay, just the one.
Tier 2 on the right-hand side left for them. Where would you look if you're JusTus here? We're looking to just push down left-hand side, or are we going to look for that tower
Probably
first?
not. They should probably be finishing up that last tower, because if they get that last tower and then they can get a Phoenix with 2 kills, the possibility of them ending the game is going to be a little bit higher than if that tower's alive.
Well, Qiwen's already in that right-hand lane, starting to push it up as well. The rest of JusTus just been back to base after picking up that Gold Fury.
Yeah, split.
And now they're going to start pushing up. You can see Xephyr in that mid lane at the moment.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them push up mid and right at the same time. That way the minions start pouring down. So once they're finished with that right-hand tier 2 and possibly the Phoenix, they can go right to the middle lane and just start bursting that Phoenix as hard as possible.
Are in position here. They're actually going to walk into the jungle. Repikas is going to find Fexez and force the beads early off 1 ton. But now Repikas is the one in trouble because of the walls coming out, and he will get bursted down. Can't escape. Sanjo dunks on the backside. Half health in Brotuz already. Uses the Ragnarok defensively in the end. Can't pick up a target. Ataraxia is trying to throw out the enhance, but it's not enough to dissuade JusTus from continuing.
Losing Repi there shouldn't be too bad. They might lose a Phoenix, but by that point, Repi should have respawn. Defender of Olympus available to get him to wherever he needs to be. The big thing is we should be watching PrettyPriMe. Can he hit the I'm a Monster reset? If he finds it, the defense will be successful. If he doesn't, this is looking like GG.
No escape has been used. Going to pull it a lot. I'm a Monster does connect. Prime picks up 2 kills. Prime picks up 3 kills. Can he find the 4th? No, he will not. They're trying to run away as Xephyr and keep the pressure on. Rewind, that'll bring him
can't.
all the way back to the
You can't
Phoenix,
do that,
though.
buddy. There's nowhere to go. You get stuck inside. The Aegis was good to defend the Crush, but that's going to be a huge wipe right there. Sanjo, full health, just forced to escape. Now it comes down to what can Titan get out of this? Right to the mid lane they go.
Sanjo on the other side of the map is going to push out that lane, and that was a Fire Giant team, but that's what Scylla brings, DM. That's what Scylla brings.
One hit. She needs one hit. If she gets that one hit, it just turns around in a heartbeat. And you know that's why you pick Scylla, right? You pick it for the I'm a Monster endgame, because just look what just happened. 4 people walking in with Fire Giant. 1 leaves with the skin of his teeth.
This is a Phoenix mid. I believe if they do this right here, Titan, they can take this tower down, ship it away. Minions on the way as well, so it'll have backdoor protections removed from the Phoenix. Only 3 members should be alive to defend this. I think Fexez will be up though with that ultimate available.
Brotuz should have his runes as well here, so he could look for the immediate offense. Yeah, there goes the stun. He Ragnaroks to bait out. Very smart. Phoenix should be going down here. Sanjo takes to the backline. Phoenix still stands.
And the big portal hits 3 members into an unstable Vortex 2, followed by a freeze, and VoteNBK cleans up 1. Looking for the second. It will go to Fexez with the in hand, and the Phoenix stands, and now it's JusTus back on the aggression.
That was a beautiful wall. It actually forced away the beads from Ataraxia as well. Does he find the freeze? No, he finds the portal.
Finds the portal, and the pillar behind him stops him, forcing any further away, and now JusTus back on the offense again. They can look for the Phoenix themselves now.
Not free FP week, ladies and gentlemen.
I never said it was.
Not free FP week.
Point that one out. The way this is going, JusTus couldn't look to take this game again. They took a game against Titan earlier on the season. Their last win was against Titan.
Hey, I'm a Monster's available here. That's all we should say.
Again.
But this time there's minions, and a lot of them.
This time there's no Kanye for this setup either, but they do have a ton on Repikas to try and set something up there. The burst on Fexez is good. Fexez also has aggro from the Phoenix. Xephyr going in deep, looking for Repi. Sanjo is in the air. Doesn't find the dunk this time, though. Doesn't find the wall either, but the Phoenix still falls.
You know, it's one thing that we always see adapting do, and that's he sends the wall down. Maybe even if he would force the miss on the stun just to block the path off. That time it looked like Sanjo was looking 100% for the stun and wound up getting neither.
Funny thing is, DM, Titan's been in situations like this before, so this might not be over just yet.
That's true.
They were known for it. I know we always bring it up, but when you come back from a situation like that, you have to give them some opportunity to get their way back in. But with our roster change, Brotuz so far not having the greatest time with himself in that solo lane. 1, 5, and 3 so far.
Repikas trying to chase this one down. It looks like some of the members are going to be backing here. Does Titan try to go for the risky FG? I mean, this is probably their call, right? I mean, they don't have a lot of room to work with, given the fact that they lost the important Phoenix on the left side. The Fire minions are going to start burning that Titan down if they're not careful. On top of that, like, there's 1 teleport.
But they also have the confirmed Titan. They do have the I'm a Monster. They could sacrifice that for that Fire Giant if they so chose, which will confirm it in their favor.
I would like to see Repikas go back, Brotuz, who's already back, and then start controlling these 2 waves of Fire minions that are coming in. And then when the fight starts, they just teleport and ult onto KanyeLife and just get into the mix as fast as possible.
Well, Magi's is online there for Qiwen. You can see that. Bit of a longer cooldown now, but very effective against taunts as well as dealing with those no escapes and the Sycoms coming out. Plenty of CC on both sides here, but JusTus using those walls to perfection at the moment. As you can see, Qiwen trying to put pressure on KanyeLife, and he got the chains onto VoteNBK, but Sanjo's in the sky, and the call is to try and get out.
For some reason, Brotuz hasn't teleported yet. He needs to get over here as fast as possible. The team needs that front line, because so far it's just been JusTus tearing through. Xephyr going to get a perfect rewind off and get most of his health back.
And now Qiwen still chasing him, but the boys of JusTus still in the jungle at the moment, deciding whether they're going to continue the aggression or go for the Fire Giant. Looks like the call is for KanyeLife now.
The body blocks. Qiwen, destruction. Nothing coming out from PrettyPriMe this time. Brotuz finally rotates over, but it might be too little too late. They seem to be able to trade out Qiwen here, but is it going to be enough?
They find Qiwen, gives Repikas a double kill on this Athena. The Titan, though. The Titan, DM. Look at the state of it.
Yeah, they got to be careful. They can't commit to this fight too hard. Oh, PrettyPriMe finding the kill onto NBK due to the Sycom. And it looks like Ataraxia is going to back to save the day. They have 3 people rushing down. Just Xephyr here, who does not have his rewind.
Now getting told it in as well. Going to be under pressure. Does avoid most of the damage, though. Speeding himself up. They're still trying to secure it. Now that crush damage showed its face.
That was a lot of damage. And now only Sanjo, again, by himself here, going to be trying to defend a little bit too early on that ultimate. Looks like he'll be giving up this mid-Phoenix.
Ataraxia, though, with the right decision, going back to base there, DM as well.
He would have lost the game.
Look at it, it's half health, and he was still there. It took him that long to bring down all those fire minions.
Phoenix is still standing. Sanjo should have been in the front line there. He would have earned at least 1 kill, and it's very unlikely they would have had enough damage to kill him. With that, they lose 1 Phoenix, but they take about 60% of the Titan's health left. Can we actually see the Titan right now?
They do have the dropship available,
yeah, look
too,
at that.
don't
I mean,
forget.
that's super low right now.
They do have the dropship.
That should be the call. That should be the
They've
call.
got
They
the
should
burst,
be grouping up and just getting right into the base.
They've technically got 2 late game people. Well, we've got Hunter, first of all, in Anhur, then they've also got that Chronos, so they should be able to bring this down and dance around it.
Neither of them are there. Anhur just spawned, and we're still waiting on Xephyr.
Let's find out what the call will be, because the Phoenixes are about to respawn. Left one will come up first, then the middle one for Titan, as JusTus setting up around the Fire Giant once again.
They've got a little under a minute now. Actually, it's probably even less than that. If they want to do this, they've got to get there now.
Well, the funny thing is, it's only a 4,000 gold differential here, DM, and the kills are even at this stage.
21.
21 to 21.
Blue buff going to be taken. Is Repikas full CDR right now?
Not so sure.
Can we see the items, please?
He's wearing Breastplate of Valor, so he's probably on the way there. Yeah, Breastplate of Valor and Melee Renewal.
Right, so this blue buff should go to KanyeLife.
Oh,
they're going for it.
Dropship play. They're going for it, but the Phoenixes are alive. That's the big key here. Sanjo going to try and dunk in. They get the Phoenix in mid, but that dropship play was just for a Phoenix. No escape going to be used.
Nope, not going to find it. It was Sanjo only. He uses the beads. No problem. They're going to go right into the left Phoenix, who is not full health. Already weakened. Ataraxia going to throw his ultimate out as well. Phoenix manages to still stand, but no, it's Xephyr who cleans it up.
Xephyr does clean it up, and there's the pillar and a wall to back it up for JusTus to get out and make their escape. These walls and the pillars, DM, have been a big catalyst for this win.
Did you see that portal that Fexez just put down?
Just a safety one.
I don't think that was a safety portal. I think that was the threat. Like, we have no intention of fighting you, but look at this portal. Maybe we do. And then you saw Titan see the portal, and they took a few steps back on the minimap.
And it gave them an extra second or two just to continue the escape.
Brilliant.
Most of the members, though, rotate straight over towards the Fire Giant once more, and her picking up his purple.
I think the most important thing that came out of that was the fact that those Phoenixes died so early that Titan never got any health back. Look at it. The Order Titan right now is still sitting at 50%.
And it was a good dropship in there. I thought they were potentially going for an end, but with the Phoenix being up, it's dangerous.
So now, if Titan defends this Fire Giant, they just dropship the base and win the game. If they don't defend the Fire Giant, then they just go into the base with FG and win the game. This is a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for Titan. What are they? I guess they're going to choose to defend the FG.
Well, Qiwen going to be on the front line again. Walls off Repikas again. Access denied, says Qiwen. Meanwhile, Xephyr doing damage over the wall. JusTus get the Fire Giant, and Qiwen already challenging ult to create a zone as Sanjo takes to the sky. Where's this fight going to lead to?
Uh-oh, wait, PrettyPriMe, no, didn't find the reset. It was Ataraxia who found the kill a little bit too early. They waste the I'm a Monster while losing a player. I'm sorry, everyone is alive, but they lose VoteNBK on the side of JusTus. Through space and time, however, is still available.
Still available in the Fire Minions. Well, they're not pushed up, though, DM, so it looks like JusTus is going to take the safer option and go for the Gold Fury here.
So this should be a pretty free Gold Fury. At this point, Titan is starting to hemorrhage a little bit. If we go to the graphs, you'll notice another 1750 about to be added. So this is going to bring us well over 7K for JusTus at the 37-minute mark.
JusTus have played amazing so far this game, though. They've really put the pressure onto Titan. They've survived the early game aggression that we saw Titan in the solo lane. They answered back in the duo lane to try and put the pressure on there, and it's worked out for them. Fexez, we've not spoken about it too much, but he's had a fantastic game in this Janus with these portals every single time.
So here's the play, right? Here's what they're looking for. Fexez is going to get this red buff. They're going to group up on the left side, start pushing in, and they're just going to go for the dropship, right? Oh. If they get tested at all in the jungle, they dropship. If they don't, they get to walk in for free, and both Phoenixes still down. They don't need that third Phoenix. With that Titan health the way it is, they should be looking to end.
And you can see Titan have pushed out the lanes as hard as they can against these Fire Minions, and they're sat back in base once more, ready to defend, to see exactly what the plan is. The Phoenix in middle lane, though, for JusTus has respawned as well, so now it's a Fire Minions only down the middle lane in favor of JusTus.
This is the last wave of Fire Minions that Titan will be able to spawn, so it's going to get harder. Things are only going to get harder. JusTus, though, they have to be careful. This was the team that made the the 2 Phoenix comebacks. No, wait, it was 3.
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 So they've
Man,
still
that was
got one
incredible.
remaining, so it's a bit of an easier situation this time, technically, but they've not got the same composition as last time round, and they're not against the same opposition.
Why are they spending so much time in the jungle right now? I feel like they're pointlessly pushing up for waves they don't need. They don't need to be on this right side either. It seems like they're so scared of Titan's ability to counter this game, just counter this aggression.
Last time, DM, but when they went on the assault last time, the Fire Giant, PrettyPriMe picked up a triple, and if they do that again, well, the respawn time is long enough that Titan could look to end themselves, especially with a weakened Phoenix in mid.
It's going to be hard for them to use the dropship from this point. At this point, they're just looking to get into the base as safely as possible. And again, they're trying
like
for this third Phoenix. This actually isn't a bad idea anymore, given the fact that the other two Phoenixes are about to spawn. If they fight for too long in this lane, they're either going to lose their other Phoenixes to fire minions, or they're going to force a split and lose their right.
Well, middle Phoenix does respawn, but there's a fire minion wave still heading down there, and Sanjo's keeping Ataraxia pinned over there as the rest of the team. Oh, Sanjo goes up.
What's he looking for? Is he going to go in? Is he trying to bait for the middle lane? Good
Comes
zoning.
No escape on the front side, though, from KanyeLife. Doesn't actually find anyone with a pull, and the monster was popped already. Maybe they're looking for Qiwen here for the reset. It's going to be soon.
No, did not get the reset. Very low is Qiwen, but they don't find a kill on the side of Titan. Two of their Phoenixes have already fallen. The mid has sustained for now, but it's already weakened, and Brotuz is out of position.
Bro is out of position. He will fall down to JusTus, and now they can march on and look for the win here. DM, it looks like JusTus are going to take another game off Titan this season, because with 3 Phoenixes down once more and a Fire Giant on 5 members in a 4v5, I don't see Titan holding.
NBK goes into the back jungle just to heal up using his lifesteal. They're going to be pushing in there. Crush does some damage. Xephyr should be able to rewind out of this one. He has a ton of defense. No, but they burst him down, but they're not paying attention to the Titan.
Titan is below 1,000 health. Titan is below 0 health. It will fall down. JusTus take a game of Titan again.
Wow. This is going to hurt. JusTus is in a position where they're no longer really trying to get to land. It's just like, let's take every game as it comes.
I guess, but I mean, at the same time, the 7th seed is currently 5 wins.
I mean,
JusTus are now at
true,
3.
but
JusTus are now at 3, so they can still make it.
They can, right?
Keep pushing.
It's mathematically possible, but I don't think in their minds they're playing for land anymore. We are playing to show that we are a good enough team to sustain ourselves through the next split. They can make it, and they should be trying, but they have to take it a game at a time. Whereas Titan was so far in the lead in the beginning, and now they're 9 and 10.
9-10. They've really fallen off. I mean, to be fair,
their chances are getting weaker.
Before that game as well, they were 3-7 in win. 3 wins, 7 losses since the second half of the split. It's not worked out well for them at the moment. Sanjo, though, gets credit for player of the game. And to be fair, the start of the game, we said
rough start.
Wasn't that good.
He had a real rough start, but he winds
on,
up turning that around massively to a 6-1-13 KDA. I mean, this is incredible. That was one of the best ults. He not only caught the person they were looking to kill, but he forced the rest of Titan away, and then poor Repikas completely blocked out there. The wall was incredible.
More important for me was the walls, like you said. They
this
really made an impact in the game.
Look at this. He doesn't have his chains, which means he can't teleport. He must guarantee this, and he does.
Guarantees it, and then ages it to buy himself a second to survive, which he ends up doing in that little engagement skirmish there as well. Oh, but I love he picks up the kill there and goes straight up and looks for the dunk. Doesn't find
now he misses
it here,
this, yeah.
But he continues the setup.
But I love this. The wall, that was the adapting wall, right, that I like, where it's going to shut his path off, and then just structure after structure gets built, and there's nowhere for him to go. He shuts down the preemptive strike and just blows him up.
But
this was the last play.
That Thor, Anhur, and Ymir combo is a combo we saw come out of Titan, and JusTus adapted it for themselves there. They used the walls and the pillars to cut off angles and stop Titan aggressing.
I mean, the way that he saved NBK at the end there, and then NBK able to get his health back, jumps back in as they rush down Xephyr. Like, Sanjo is key in every single engagement. He almost found the first blood as well. I mean, it was actually a really incredible push, but just barely off the mark.
As Titan, what do? Do we go for the same sort of picks and look for the same play and gank solo again, but make sure we confirm it this time?
I think they should continue pressuring Brotuz.
Let's have a look at the Alpha Draft top performers from that game, and it should be a bit with back and forwards then. Actually, PrettyPriMe is top of the shop. He got a lot of kills.
I mean, that triple kill to save the right side Phoenix. I mean, the game could have ended there.
Could have ended there, agreed. But Sanjo on that list, Fexez as well, who was, to be fair, he was a dark horse in that game. He consistently got out of trouble and set up a lot of plays for the team. And Qiwen with those big Ymir freezes.
We're going to be going into game 2, and Titan is in a weird spot. Oh, wait, really?
Oh. Let's have a little look at the jungle.
It's back.
Camps. It's back on your screen. You can see exactly how this played out between the two. And Harpies in the mid here, you can see that JusTus, well, they're the ones that control most of them.
Yeah, Fire Giant, Gold Fury, everything important went on the side of red.
And the key there is those mid harpies, because if you remember at the start of the game, we did see KanyeLife go for the gank at level 2 in the solo lane, which allowed JusTus to start this rampage on the left-hand harpies because the rights were pretty even, but it allowed them to control most of the mid harpies, which gave them a small experience in gold lead early.
Now again, going into game 2, JusTus got to take every game at this point one at a time. Titan has to look at the bigger picture, right? They can't afford losses to teams that are lower seeded than them. They can lose to Epsilon, they can lose to Fnatic, they can lose to the top 3, all they want, that doesn't matter. But they must beat the bottom seeded teams or their chances at LAN are going to get very, very slim.
Well, they played Myrmidons and drew there, they played Dignitas and lost there. Epsilon, they also lost to. They were the last 3 games they played. And now against JusTus, they're already 0-1. They need to find a win in this one.
And I see